And then when it came time to it, all those ladies lined up in the hallway to talk about he got them out of sex trafficking.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking with Skeeta Jenkins from the faith-based crime drama Vindication from the platform PureFlix, which you can see season 1 now. Season 2 is underway. It's filming as we speak. And so we got to start over a little bit. We're live now, Skeeta. I had a problem with my feed, so we're going to have to start from square one. But just to let everybody know, Skeeta Jenkins. Also, you can see him in Black Gold, and I think Puppet Master, and this guy is really, really good, and you can see Skeeta in Vindication as well on season 1. I want to let everybody know on November 2nd, I'm going to have the lead actors of that show, Venus Monique, on November 2nd at 3 p.m., and Ty Terry, lead detective, on November 3rd, which happens to be Election Day. We are 15 days away. And speaking of Election Day, if I may say, Skeeta, and I mean, hey, vote for who you want to, everybody. I'm not advocating who you vote for, but I got to tell you, number one, I'm glad Donald Trump is okay. There were people out there that were saying, I hope he dies, and I don't want him to get better. Like, hey, it's a human being, everybody. Let's take it easy.
Yeah.
It's a human being. I mean, would you just step off a spaceship or something? Calm down. Okay. The thing that I didn't understand, though, is when he got off Air Force One and he walked to the front of the White House, he took his mask off and he saluted to the cameras. And I'm like, dude, put your mask back on, dude. Put your mask back on. We need the president living and breathing and all of that. The enemy's watching. Put your mask back on.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing I didn't understand, Skeeta.
I just called.
That's okay.
I'm glad he's okay too, and I know a lot of people may not agree with it, but the scripture reminds us to pray for him, and I definitely send up a little timber, like my grandmother would say, and pray for him.
Oh, absolutely. And then there were other people that were out there saying, "Oh no. You didn't have to put the mask back on. Let the Lord have His way." Anyway, Skeeta, it's tough business. That's tough. We got a tough crowd out there, Skeeta. I'll tell you that right now, dude.
I'm trying to get this. The crowd is definitely tough, brother.
Well, anyway, so on December 8th, we've got from the Vindication series, the creator, director, and writer, Jared O'Flaherty. He's going to be here on December 8th at 12 noon. Now, we were talking about the gritty, tough nature of this show, which is very similar to an NCIS or, the Blue Bloods or what have you. You can see on secular programming. And tell us a little bit about the gritty nature of Vindication.
I think the gritty nature is to, if you like crime drama, it's to pull people in, and it's to let them know that you can have a clean show and still do things the right way, in the sense of, and nothing wrong with Blue Bloods and NCIS. They have a specific audience they're trying to reach. And I think Vindication is crossing over lines that people didn't think the show would cross over, and even drawing those people in who like those shows is just great messages in each episode. And that's what I love about it. You're going to leave away from each episode with a message that's going to stick with you. And not just because I'm in Vindication. I think Jared O'Flaherty and his team did a great job of assembling a crew together, assembling a cast together of people who, Todd got skills, Peggy Shot, Venus Monique. I think he put a group together that really, just a great ensemble together that really brought the show to life.
Now, Christopher Sean Shaw, who has a film coming out called Church People at the beginning of 2021, I believe it's going to be on the tail end of January, with comedian Thor Ramsey and also the Baldwin brothers. Both of the Baldwin brothers are also in this film, Church People. So everyone that's listening out there, be on the lookout for that. Christopher Sean Shaw. He was on my show about 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about the grittiness. I was actually talking about the grittiness of Vindication, how it comes up to that invisible line of inappropriateness, but it never gets there. And so when you're watching it, the average viewer that's watching it is going to be drawn into it. Now, Christopher Sean Shaw made an interesting comment, and he said, well, that's true, Maurice, but everyone has their own line of inappropriateness. You know what I mean? And I thought that was an interesting comment. But at the end of the day, I think that, there's a general line. Oh, there's Candace Kirkpatrick cooking dinner now and listening to you wonderful guys. Thanks for tuning in, Candace. I apologize. I got to you kind of late. I wanted you to join me and Skeeta, but you're with us right now, and I appreciate it. But that line of inappropriateness does vary from, how should I put it, Christian to Christian, right? And from church to church, it's kind of all over the place. But I think in general, there's a basic line that Vindication doesn't cross, which you have to respect.
You really do. And friends, when the series came out, I told friends near, far, and wide to go watch it and give me your comments on what you think about it. And that was nothing but praise. I mean, people were literally, and the first question, a couple of my can I watch it with my family? I say, you definitely can watch it with your family. Each episode will cause you to get together as a group, and you could talk about the different issues or concerns that's going on. And my favorite one of them all is reverse trafficking. I mean, it just pulled every heartstring I had, and I just love that episode.
And I was trying to remember that. I sat down, I watched the entire series with my wife. We loved it. And I'm trying to recall what episode that one was. It might have been the third episode, I guess.
I think it's either third, fourth, or fifth. And I don't have all of the episodes memorized, but it's either third, fourth, or fifth. What's up, Michael J. Patterson?
Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy? Always good to have you in the house, bro.
Yes, sir.
And so, but that was a great episode, no question about it. I love the episode that, by the way, Candace Kirkpatrick is going to be in season 2. Shout out to you, Candace, and congratulations.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Candace. And don't let her fool you. Candace has skills. So I can't wait to see her on the big silver screen, some people call it. I just call it the big screen. But Candace transcends past the screen because she's gonna have a big heart on screen, I'm pretty sure, but her heart is even bigger in person, and I love it.
Yeah, and I remember you in season 8. I think you were in season 8, and you had a huge presence. I thought that particular, and I don't want to. I'm definitely not going to give up any info to the audience and let them see everything for the first time. But that was a really good episode. I think the subject matter in Vindication deals with issues, Skeeta, that a lot of, in my opinion, I think the church is afraid to address. And
I definitely agree. And the big topic right now, everywhere you go, we just had a conference Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It was online. It was a little different, but I heard sex trafficking so many times, man. It's so prevalent right now, and it's something that needs to be addressed from every angle, every just everywhere we go, it needs to be addressed. And Vindication did a great job of just addressing it.
Well, it did. And the thing about it, and when you talk about human trafficking, sex trafficking, that kind of thing, I think we get to the point where we're so comfortable in our safe everyday lives, we don't realize the madness that's going on around us.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of madness going on around us. I mean, people are getting abducted right here in our own backyards and in, grocery store parking lots late at night and so forth and so on, man. That stuff's real. That stuff is realer than real. It's happening. And we need to open up our eyes and address these subjects, man. It's a real problem.
Yeah. And I think Jared has done a masterful job of addressing all of those societal issues that some people may just look across and not address. And he just did a great job, and I'm just proud to be a part of the show. And the acting is stellar, so you can't say I watched this episode and this person didn't do that. I think he did a great job with the ensemble cast. And speaking of Jared, he just did I see he just did a little shout out or comment.
Yeah, he said that he really likes your scene where you caused Detective Travis to reveal his views on faith for the first time.
Yes. And I'm telling you, I love even the Detective Travis, because there's someone in every episode that basically kind of give him subtle hints about his faith. Yeah. And then I love how Jared just let me draw it into him and just basically, no, I'm worried about where they're going, not, and what was talking, well, they're dead. No, I'm talking about after this. Where are they going? Yeah. And I love that particular scene, as well as Detective Travis's faith is actually, being challenged. And I just love the fact that it's actually getting through. And for the viewer who's in a similar position as Detective Travis, and of course, far worse, because Detective Travis is a good dude. He's just a guy that's indifferent to the faith. And I think that, that's what I love about Vindication. It can pull you in and make you look at your view on the Father. Because everyone has an innate view of the Father God, but they choose not to actually digest it for many different reasons. But when you're forced to, and I no, that's too strong a word. When you are led to the right way, it can lead to your salvation. There's a way that you go about doing this, And that's what I'm looking forward to in season 2. Okay. Detective Travis is getting all of these, and I don't know anything about season 2. So, but Detective Travis is getting all of these hints, and I just want to see where it leads him in regards to, because he's softened up against his family, which was awesome. Yeah. And I love how Jared, from beginning to end, just the dynamics of family, things are not always peachy all the time. You're going to have disagreements, but I love that he and Peggy, it gives me the sense of we don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand. And even though they had their separate issues, at the end of the day, they still was husband and wife. They went through the issues. So I think on every level, it talks about a problem, from the family to inside your house to outside your house. And there were times when I felt like, man, Detective Travis is so good to Venus's character in the film, and he's not to his daughter. And then eventually everything just comes full circle. And I love that about Vindication. Well, and then when you think about, we're getting back to that line, that, from Christian to Christian, every Christian has their line, And sometimes the line is absurd. But anyway, that being said, there's a general line. And I think when you're looking at it, you go, okay, look, if how should I put this? Because I want it to really be received well. If we're in the faith and we're not understanding, where that line ought to be, you know what? It's almost inconsequential to me, because for the world, there's a clear line. Yes. And for the world, they need to be able to get over the line to the light. Yes. And for me, that's the most important thing.
Can we
Yes.
get people to the light? And I think this show does that better. Again, and I said it before, and I give a shout out to the Kendrick brothers. I give a shout out to the Irwin brothers, and I give a shout out to every decent faith-based work that's out there, because they are out there.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a faith-based project this good, Skeeta, ever. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I've not seen it. I just haven't. I cannot think of one, because it's so realistic. It's so real. Again, you know, this is one of the issues I think that we have in the church and in faith-based works is, what can we present to the world that's not hokey, that's not cheesy? I need authenticity. I need genuineness. I need sincerity. I need for you to tell me how to deal with my problem. And my problem isn't necessarily going to be on Captain Kangaroo. Okay? They don't have any problems on Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
You know, we don't live in that world. We live in a real world. So how do we deliver answers to people that are going through real life problems?
And, and Maurice, I think you touch on something that's very pertinent. You know, they have a beginning. And the beginning in some of the episodes is ugly, with mess and family mess and people stuff going on. But I think the middle kind of draws them in, and then the end, it leaves that message. I think after every episode, a family can sit down and say, hey, what did we learn from that episode? And as a lesson behind each episode. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about it.
Well, thank you, Candace. I mean that from the heart. I honestly and truly mean. My wife will tell you that, because she knows I rave about it all the time. Come on, babe, we got to go watch Vindication. But I appreciate it. And hi, Gigi. We got a fan watching from the Philippines.
Hey, Gigi.
And Gigi, you got to watch Vindication on PureFlix. Watch it now, season 1. And that's just how I feel about it, man. I was just transfixed, and I think that having Candace on the show, having you on the show, kind of pointed the way for me to go check it out. I had already heard about Vindication, and I've also heard about The Chosen. My wife and I are now in the process of watching Chosen.
Wow,
and
that's good.
I have you seen the first season of that?
I have a couple episodes to go, so I haven't really finished it either. I need to be intentional, because every time I sit down and watch it, something comes up, and I just need to do, when I'm intentional about doing something, I do it. And I just need to be intentional about watching The Chosen.
Excuse me. So I've been watching, I think we're going to watch episode 5 next. So and you talk, what's beautiful, I think that's Dallas Jenkins that produced The Chosen, directed, wrote, and produced The Chosen.
Yeah, it is.
And
he has a
they were
name.
able to generate the budget. What's that?
He has a great last name.
What was that, Skeeta?
Oh, Dallas has a great last name.
Yeah, and so he did that through the GoFundMe route, and man, he has a real mission from God to get that entire. I think it's done on. I don't know if that's a chapter out of the Bible, or it might be an entire gospel. It might be the entire gospel of Luke. I want to say it is, but he wants to get it all done. And man, God's going to bless him to do it. You can see that God's hand is on Vindication and The Chosen. You can see it. It's so obvious.
That's awesome. And with The Chosen, did you see the GoFundMe? It's probably, man, they broke records and get money for that film. I think it was 30 million. Candace may know, but they brought in a lot of money on GoFundMe, which I think it broke all kind of records.
Yeah, I think it did. Let's see. Candace says she's seen all of season 1. They're presently shooting season 2, and know that you can't watch an episode without crying, and they get stronger and stronger with each episode. I'm going to tell you right now, it's awesome. Jonathan Rooney plays the role of Jesus Christ.
Jesus,
and I'm going to tell you, man, if I may say this without being irreverent, he put his foot in that role, dude. I ain't going to lie to you. Man, he put his foot in that role, Jack. Man, he nailed it.
I have several friends that are in it, and just like the feedback from Vindication, the feedback for The Chosen has been amazing as well. And these shows just let you know people are hungry for this type of information.
Yeah. Well, the people, Skeeta, people are hungry for authenticity.
Yes.
People want the real, man. They just want the real. I mean, as you watch The Chosen, you can there's something about the way that this product being presented. It's in such a way that it's never been presented before. We've seen some interesting works in the past. You can go back to Ben-Hur, the 10 Commandments, and all those type of things, and those were awesome. By the way, I mean, you can't hate on Ben-Hur and the 10 Commandments, dude.
No.
I mean, those are legendary works, okay? But if you watch The Chosen, there's just something about it that still has something special about it that you've never seen before in the way that it's being portrayed, the story, the way it's being told.
And I think that was Dallas's, from listening to some of his podcasts, listening to his interviews. That was his intent, to make it different than anything you see on TV. And to be honest, he's doing a great job of doing that. I just wish there were roles for big old black brothers like me in it. But
well,
big guys got a hard time in shows like that.
Well, listen, dude. There's got to be a role for you. And then I was watching a film back in the day with Kirk Douglas. Believe it or not, was it? I think it was Spartacus. And there's a scene in Spartacus where the girl goes out to all these slaves were in this big cage, and the king wanted her to go out there and pick a fighter for Kirk Douglas's character to fight. So the queen, she's looking in the cage and she's trying to pick a fighter. And she said, "That one." And he said, "Which one?" And she said, "The beautiful one." And it was this tall, black, bald guy. And I forget the actor's name, but the reason I tell that story is there's a place for you with The Chosen, Skeeta.
Hey, I hear you, man.
But no, man, and I tell you, man, I watched Vindication, and I've just been sold, man. And like I said, clearly with The Chosen, I'm just loving both of these series, and I cannot wait for season 2. And I looked at it, and as a stand-up comic, I understand what authenticity has to be. Being a faith-based comic, a Christian comic, I understand I can't just go out there to a secular audience and give them hokey, cheesy stuff from Captain Kangaroo. But if you could talk about their everyday struggles and make a joke about it, they're more apt to listen to you and laugh at you. And it's the same thing. And the audience wants you to be real with them.
Yeah.
And that's what the show is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, just a program reminder once again that on November 2nd, as we talk about Vindication, we're going to have Jared O'Flaherty, the creator, writer, and director of the series, on the Maurice Brown Show, December 8th at 12 noon. So be here for that. And then before that, next month, November 2nd, we're going to have Venus Monique, who plays lead detective, along with lead detective Todd Terry, who portrays Detective Travis. He'll be on the show November 3rd at 3 p.m. on the Maurice Brown Show. And we're talking right now with Skeeta Jenkins, who was in episode 8
Yes.
of Vindication. I thought actually was one that would probably end up coming back because you had such a strong presence in the dude. I'm like, oh yeah. I think I can expect to see Skeeta coming back at some point.
Well, I think Jared got some tricks up his sleeves, so you never know with him. And I know he got tricks up his sleeves for what he's going to give people this season. And I can't wait to see how everything unfold. I saw a picture the other day of the table read, and they got a secret character. I saw another picture. I know who the secret character is, but I won't say anything because I saw the picture with him in there. But guys, if you love season 1, I think they're gonna take season 2 to a whole nother level. And I think this is a show, if we get it in the hands of the right people, it can be a show with multiple seasons that people just grow to love the characters and enjoy. And a lot of people watching this may say, well, he's saying that because he's in it. Even if I wasn't in the show, he does a great job in each episode. And I got several friends that's going to be in season 2. Todd, Peggy, I love them. Venus, I can't wait to see. And then with new additions, Candace and other people, I can't wait to see what Jared is going to do with them.
I'm glad you kind of stopped short of not revealing the new person's name. I was about to say it. Thank you, Skeeta, for giving me the heads up. Now, but I as you say, the upcoming season 2 and perhaps 3 and 4 could be developed and picked up. Let me tell you something. I think this show picked up by a secular network as well. I mean, I could see NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox, and USA, and the Arts Channel. What's that? The A&E channel. A&E. I could see those platforms picking up Vindication with no problem. Now, I don't know what Jared's plans are. I don't know how all of that works out or how it goes down, but they could be on those platforms, Skeeta, so very easily.
Especially with people around the country. I mean, I've seen stuff from Time Warner. I've seen stuff from Spectrum. They want content. Everybody's trying to create their own streaming service now, and one of the things they need, I think Jared needs to go out to these local big TV stations in Dallas and say, hey, once a week, would you air an episode of Vindication? And I think it'll get more people pumped up to get involved with it, because it's a show that people need to see. And if
you know what, dude,
he's just giving prop, not because I'm in it.
Well, you know what, Skeeta? Anybody that knows you knows that you would never make a prideful statement like that. You're about as humble as they come. Everybody knows it. And yeah, I mean, that's a genuine, honest statement that you're making. I know it is. And I've seen it to, back up the fact that, what you're saying is 100% true. So I just look at that show, dude, and I'm like, okay, well, we're going to see what God does next with it. But I do want to give Todd Terry a huge shout out right now, because to me, Jerry went out and got the right guy to be the face of Vindication. Because Todd Terry has a grizzleness and edge about him that could put him on any lead series on TV. He's just got it. Todd Terry's just got the edge, and he's on it, dude. Todd Terry is on it, so he made a great pick by getting Todd Terry.
I just got a 6-letter word for Todd.
Okay,
and it's skills. SKILLS. The brother has skills.
Oh, yes, sir. does. Hey, Platinum, how are you? Thanks for watching.
Hello, Platinum.
The thing about, oh yeah, man. And let's see, ask Jared how many languages. This is Candace Kirkpatrick. How many languages it is already showing in? I, for one, have heard it in Spanish and German. Wow.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Well,
that's
Jared,
amazing.
Jared, you online, brother. Chime in. How many languages, man? That is something I didn't know either. I knew Spanish, but I didn't know German. So, Jared, chime in. Let us see it. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I you know, I think I did hear that it was in German. I had seen a trailer of Vindication in German. And then you're saying that you had heard it in Spanish. So it's definitely out there. It is definitely out there. And getting back to Todd Terry, Skill. The guy has skills. And Todd Terry is the kind of guy that you can hang your hat on for a project like that to see how far you can carry it. Now, you got to write a good script, and you've got to surround them by able people, and you got to have a clear direction where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. All those boxes have to be checked. But you've got to have somebody that can drive the bus on screen. Yeah. And Todd Terry can drive the bus. He can drive the bus.
He definitely can drive the bus. And you know, the neat part is Peggy is not a pushover. Venus is not a pushover. He really
not at all.
Awesome lead. Oh, I know you didn't mean that, but he really have awesome lead supporting characters that will make him continue to raise his game up.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's why I said he's got to be surrounded by people that can follow him up. And clearly, you know, Venus Monique, and I forget the character that placed Todd Terry's wife on the show. What's her name?
Oh, you know, her real name is Peggy Shaw. I forget her character name.
She does a wonderful job. She does a wonderful job as Detective Travis's wife. She does a wonderful job, and so does the daughter. You know, I mean, and I think the young lady, and I think she's only in episodes 1 and 2. She was the girlfriend of the young man. She would write the letters, and she was ending the. I don't want to give, I don't want to give too much away, but she was only in the first couple of episodes. But she did a great job. Oh, thank you, Candace. Her name is Becky. She played the role of Becky, I guess. Yes. And she was wonderful.
Peggy, if you're watching it, charge it to my head and not my heart. I just forgot your character name.
No, but she killed it. She killed it. Okay, she was hugely convincing in her role, and so you know, as I look, she was, man, and as I looked at the surrounding cast members, I mean, hey, look, everybody's killing it, man. I mean, like I said, you cannot have a lead dog without, you know, when you're on that sled, man, everybody's got to be rolling out on that Iditarod trail. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to be humping it, man. You see what I'm saying? And so he's surrounded by really quality actors and actresses. So I'm hugely impressed with it. And I like the lead detective. What is the lead? Well, he's not the lead detective. He's the captain, I think. What's the gentleman's name that plays the captain?
Which captain in the?
Well,
no, I'm thinking the chief. The captain is
the chief. Yeah.
What is his name?
Thanks, Jared. He says 30
plus countries,
6 languages. Wow, absolutely amazing.
Oh my!
Absolutely amazing.
That is amazing.
But the gentleman that plays
I'm going to tell you his name. I just.
Okay, well, Candace got it for us. She said Steve. I think it's Steve Mocati is the name, or Steve Mocade. I would say Mocati. But he does a great job, too. I love him. He's a grizzled guy as well. Does great. He does great.
He did.
Everybody's great in the cast. So yeah, man. So anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Todd Terry though for his role as the lead guy. I don't think he could have picked a better person to lead the series and center the series around.
Yeah.
He just does an excellent job. He just does an excellent job. So listen, we're all looking forward to season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, of Vindication, which you can see right now on PureFlix. Season 1, you can see right now on PureFlix. I believe that's 10 episodes. If you don't have a subscription to PureFlix, get one. And then stand by.
And if you have Amazon Prime.
Okay, thanks for letting us know about. I forgot it was also on Amazon Prime or Amazon Video. You can see it on that platform as well. And check it out and stand by for season 2. And you prayer warriors out there, let's be in prayer that seasons 3, 4, and 5 will be developed as well. They absolutely ought to be.
And prayer warriors, I think later on, somewhere down the line, you may or may not see my character again, but we'll see. I'll be back.
Well, we will see. Oh, Candace says Amazon Prime and Redeem TV. Thank you, Candace. Yeah. I think you'll be back. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that you're going to end up back up there for some reason. It seems like the way that you were involved in it, man, your presence was so strong, dude. I don't know. We'll see. I would not be shocked if you were back up there, man. You had a booming presence. I loved it. And you certainly added to the cast too. I mean, your episode was, I mean, I ain't kidding you, man. I was, my wife and I said, we were watching it and I said, hey, I said, babe, that's Skeeta. And she said, oh my goodness, he's a tough guy. You know, and then it turned out you had a really soft, you know, humble, you know, godly side to yourself, which was kind of a curveball, you know, in the way that you had first initially appeared. So I'm definitely going to be looking for you to be a part of it again, dude. You were awesome in it. Everybody in Vindication was awesome in it. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. November 2nd and 3rd. I'm going to have Venus Monique and Todd Terry right here on the Maurice Brown Show. You can meet them in person and get a chance to see what makes them tick and do what they do. And then on December 8th, you can see the creator and see what makes him tick and why he wrote and directed Vindication on December 8th. That's a Monday at 12 noon on the Maurice Brown Show. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Skeeta Jenkins, who's in episode 8 of Vindication on the Maurice Brown Show. Skeeta, always nice having you to visit and stop by on the Maurice Brown Show and chew the fat and kick it a little bit. Always love having you around, man. God bless you, and may the peace of Christ be with you and your family, bro.
I appreciate you, brother, and thanks again for having me on the show. You got a special place with me, Mo, and I appreciate you, man. Watch Vindication. Hey, that was awesome.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hey, everybody, we're still here. The internet didn't want to let us go. They don't want the show to stop. Yeah. The internet's like, no, don't stop. So I'm waiting for the internet to kind of let me off this broadcast. But guys, I love you, and I'll see you next week at on Monday here with Faisal Malik